You didn't know lightning strikes twice, a director's hands that nailed Christ to the cross, and an atheist who found God between takes. These are 20 weird facts about the passion of the Christ you didn't know. Forgive them, Father. They know not what they do. Number 1. The gamble that made history. Mel Gibson risked everything on a film no Hollywood studio would touch. When Gibson approached major studios with his vision for a graphically violent Christ narrative in dead languages, every single one turned him down. So he put up $30 million of his own money for production costs, then threw in another $15 million for marketing, bringing his total personal investment to $45 million. The gamble paid off spectacularly. The film grossed around $600 million at the box office, and Gibson's 50% cut was $300 million. Add merchandising and DVD sales, and his total payday reached somewhere between $400 to $475 million, making it the largest single payday in Hollywood history. Number 2. The actor who died for his art. Jim Caviezel endured extraordinary suffering during production. He was accidentally whipped twice during the scourging scene, leaving a 14-inch scar on his back. He dislocated his shoulder when the 150-pound cross dropped on him, and that scene with his real pain is still in the movie. But perhaps most shocking, Caviezel was struck by lightning while filming the Sermon on the Mount, and his hair actually caught fire. In 2023, the actor revealed that he was taken to the hospital and actually died for a few minutes before being revived. The scenes of him hanging on the cross in the dead of Italian winter with temperatures of 25 degrees Fahrenheit and 30-knot winds caused him to contract hypothermia and pneumonia. Number 3. When lightning strikes twice, then 3 times. According to a 2008 study, lightning strikes roughly 240,000 people per year. It's fairly rare, but it happened 3 times on the set of The Passion of the Christ. Key set production assistant Jan Michelini was struck twice by lightning and hence nicknamed Lighting Boy, as seen in the credits. Minutes later, Caviezel also was struck. Caviezel recalled being lit up like a Christmas tree during the Sermon on the Mount. He knew it was going to hit him about 4 seconds before it happened. Many on set wondered if these strikes were divine warnings or confirmations. Number 4. The director's hidden cameo. Mel Gibson didn't just direct the film, he literally had a hand in the crucifixion. It's Gibson's hands that we see nailing Jesus to the cross during the pivotal crucifixion scene. According to the DVD commentary, it's also Mel Gibson's arms and hands we see tying the rope on the tree where Judas commits suicide by hanging himself. Gibson even recorded the sound effects, cries, and screaming mixed with the music during that haunting scene. Number 5. The accidental lashing. Because you can't exactly flay the skin off your star in real life, a hidden whipping post was set up behind Jim Caviezel while filming the notoriously bloody scourging scene. Problem was, one of the actors doing the flogging didn't have the best aim when swinging overhand. The lash just extended over the board and hit Caviezel with such velocity that he couldn't breathe. Caviezel wasn't happy. I turned around and looked at the guy, and I tell you, I may be playing Jesus, but I felt like Satan at that moment, he recalled, admitting a couple of expletives came out of his mouth. Moments later, Caviezel accidentally received another blow. After that, the remainder of the scourging scenes were finished using visual effects. The actors held sticks without the leather tails and acted out the whipping motion, while Caviezel would react as if hit. The tails were later digitally composited into the shots. Number 6. The Atheist Who Found Christ. Filming The Passion of the Christ had a profound effect on many people involved in the production, and the film's set became the site of several religious conversions. One actor who converted from being a self-proclaimed angry atheist was Luca Lionello, who plays Judas. Near the end of production, Lionello accepted the film's title character as his Lord and Savior. He asked for confession and apparently had been completely transformed by the experience. He baptized his children, sanctified his marriage, and came back to the church. Number 7. Satan's disturbing baby. One of the film's most unsettling images is Satan, played by actress Rosalinda Celentano, cradling a hideous 40-year-old looking baby with hair on his back during the scourging scene. Gibson explained his vision. I believe the devil is real, but I don't believe he shows up too often with horns and smoke and a forked tail. The devil is smarter than that. Evil is alluring, attractive. It looks almost normal, almost good, but not quite. About the baby, Gibson said, "What is more tender and beautiful than a mother and a child?" So the devil takes that and distorts it just a little bit. Instead of a normal mother and child, you have an androgynous figure holding a 40-year-old baby. It is weird. It is shocking. It's almost too much. Just like turning Jesus over to continue scourging him on his chest is shocking and almost too much, which is the exact moment when this appearance of the devil and the baby takes place. Number 8, a woman plays the devil. Satan is actually played by a woman. Italian actress Rosalinda Celentano. Gibson created an androgynous, almost beautiful being. They shaved her eyebrows and shot her almost in slow motion so you don't see her blink, which isn't normal. They even dubbed in a man's voice in Gethsemane, even though the actor is a woman. Rosalinda Celentano ate only beans and rice until after the completion of production, so she would look malnourished. Number 9, the movie without a soundtrack. Mel Gibson originally opted not to use a musical score for the film. He eventually decided to use one, and it was nominated for Best Musical Original Score for a motion picture at the 2005 Oscars. Gibson initially felt that including a soundtrack would distract from the raw emotion of the performances. When he changed his mind and hired John Debney to compose the score, it transformed the film's emotional impact. Number 10, daily mass on-set priests were deeply involved with the filming. Father William Folco, Monsignor Jonathan Morris, and a local priest, Philip J. Ryan, visited the set daily to provide counsel, confession, and Holy Communion to Jim Caviezel. Masses were celebrated for cast and crew in several locations. There were other priests involved with the filming, including Abbé Michel de Bourges from the Institute of Christ the King, Stephen Somerville, and Jean-Marie Charles Roux, all of whom were asked by Mel Gibson to daily celebrate the traditional Latin Mass. Number 11, the Jewish mother, Mary Maya Morgenstern, who played Mary, the mother of Jesus, is a Jewish actress whose parents both survived the Holocaust. Morgenstern was pregnant during the shoot and kept it hidden from the others for a while. Then, she came up to Jim Caviezel and said, "I have baby in stomach." At Morgenstern's suggestion, the Passover Seder is quoted early in the film. Mary asks, "Why is this night different from other nights?" And Mary Magdalene replies with the traditional response, "Because once we were slaves, and we are slaves no longer." Number 12, Monica's spiritual quest. Monica Bellucci portrayed Mary Magdalene, and while she was the film director's first choice, it would be quite surprising for many that she was the one who fought really hard to get her hands on the role. Bellucci opened up about the spiritual reason with which she joined Mel Gibson's 2004 project. Coming off the extremely controversial film Irreversible, which featured a graphic 9-minute assault scene, Bellucci was drawn to the passion for deeply personal reasons, seeing Mary Magdalene as just a sinner like you and me. Number 13, the languages that almost weren't subtitled. The original plan was to have no subtitles during the whole film, whose dialogue is entirely in Aramaic and Latin. This idea was scrapped because test audiences insisted that at least the important lines should be understandable rather than make audiences do guesswork from the character interactions. While the characters of the film mostly speak Latin and Aramaic, there are instances where Hebrew was spoken. The gathering of the Sanhedrin, Simon of Cyrene speaking, and the woman who gave water to Jesus on his way to Golgotha. Number 14, the 10-hour makeup marathon. During the production, Jim Caviezel would regularly wake up at 2 a.m. to apply makeup for 8 to 10 hours. It would usually take over 10 hours to put Caviezel into the scourged makeup. The actor had to endure this grueling process day after day to achieve the film's brutal realism. Number 15, Scorsese's leftover sets. According to the DVD's unique feature, Martin Scorsese had just finished his film Gangs of New York, from which Gibson and his production designers built a portion of their set. Gibson saved a lot of time and money as a result of this. Even in competition with Scorsese's own religious epic, The Last Temptation of Christ, Gibson found a way to benefit from the master director's work. Number 16, the church marketing machine. Gibson deviated from the conventional film marketing formula. He ran a low-key television advertising campaign with no press junkets. The Passion of the Christ, like earlier biblical films, was heavily promoted by many church groups, both within their organizations and to the general public. Typically licensed merchandise such as posters, t-shirts, coffee mugs, and jewelry were available from retailers and websites. Many congregations planned to attend the theaters, and some even set up tables to answer questions and pray. This film had more pre-ticket sales than any other movie in history. Number 17. The cross that bounced. To prevent injury, the cross was on pads of sorts to lessen the impact as it was dropped to the ground. While recording, it actually showed the cross bouncing a couple of inches off the ground. It was left in because of its simple effect. This authentic moment of physics added unexpected realism to one of the film's most brutal scenes. Number 18. The actor who was too European. Daniel Day-Lewis was considered for Jesus, but was deemed too European. Gibson ultimately chose Jim Caviezel, an American actor with Italian and Swiss-Slovak heritage, for the role that would define both their careers. Number 19. The independent film that changed everything. The film grossed $611,899,420 in worldwide ticket sales since its release. The highest-grossing independent film is a Jesus movie. This is the highest-grossing foreign language film and/or subtitled film in U.S. box office history. The film garnered 3 Oscar nominations in the categories of makeup, cinematography, and original score. Number 20. The sequel that's coming. After years of development, Mel Gibson's The Passion of the Christ sequel, titled The Resurrection of the Christ, is officially happening and being split into 2 installments. The first will be released on March 26, 2027, which is Good Friday, followed by the second on May 6th, which falls on Ascension Day. Each movie will reportedly have a budget of $100 million, making for a combined total of $200 million, which is a rarity for an independent film project. This is a significant increase from The Passion of the Christ and its $30 million budget. Gibson has described the project as super ambitious and an acid trip featuring angelic and demonic battles and Christ's descent into hell. Jim Caviezel and Monica Bellucci will not reprise their roles, with Finnish actor Jaakko Otonen and Cuban actress Mariella Garriga taking over as Jesus and Mary Magdalene. Which scene from this movie do you remember the most, and which of these behind-the-scenes stories surprised you? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And remember, thou shalt like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching.